Hi, I'm so glad that you're continuing your journey in data science and you want to learn more. So we are continuing our journey or our lesson from where we ended in data types. If you remember the other time in this list, I wanted to add one more thing maybe and then run this. There was going to be an error because the append method here actually takes in only one input, right? So list.append takes exactly one argument, so two given. That means I should pass this as a list. So if I pass this as a list, it becomes just one list and it will add it to the list S. So when I run this, I see 6,7 added to it as well. All right. So that is the case. The next data type I want us to talk about is dictionary. Okay. So it stores pairs of elements as keys and values. Um, so if you want to represent some particular data given in the real world as a key value pairs, then you do that. So how do I create a dictionary? What it means, the format it takes is this. Maybe let me call the dictionary data that we're going to deal with as data underscore dict. Remember, this is variable assignment that I'm doing here. I'm assigning a set of data points in terms of dictionary to data underscore dict, and this is one of the ways you assign data. You assign variables. Okay, so again, you can read more about the basics that I've talked about so far in the resource we are using. Okay, so to create a a dictionary, you use open and close curly braces, and the first argument you do is this, right? So I have the key. So some you can use just one quotation mark, that's okay, or two should be fine. Name, and this is a key, and then I pass this key to the value John, right? And so know that the reason I have John in quote is because so for the key it should be in quote, but for this John is the value, and this John value here is a string. So I have to, before I can pass a string, it has to be in quotes, right? We've talked about string data type as well. Okay, so I have name. This is the key. For the key, that's how it's supposed to be in strings. But for the value, it can be it can be any data type, but make sure that your data type is being captured well in Python. Okay, so this John is a string. In other words, it's just um, characters. Okay, you can think of it as characters or maybe alphabet or something. And to capture characters, you have to use the quotation marks. Okay, and then I want to give another key called field. All right, and then this key, the value I want to pass to it is data science. Okay, and the next key value pair I want to create is age, um, and then the value I want to keep to this age is just the data type value, which is this is 30 is like an integer, is a data type of value or number, and in this case there's no need for me to put the code on it because Python can understand this kind of data type, right? If you look at it very carefully, like I said, these are the data types. John is a data type and is um, a string. The name here, the ones you have in front of them are called the keys. These are the keys, and their corresponding ones you have on their right is called the value, right? So you have the key on the left side of the semicolon, and then the value in the dictionary. So in other words, it's like when you call name, what should come out, right? It's like a puzzle or something. So when you call the key name, it should bring us John, right? That's what we are trying to say here. So if I want to print this, if I print this, if I want to see the output, this data, um, the dictionary I have here, I have to make sure that everything I type is correct. If I run this line of code, I have name John, field data science, and age 30. So the name of the person is John. The field, the John is actually interested in his data science, and then his age is 30. That's how it means. Okay, so assessing a value by its key. So what I mean by, so if I want to assess a particular value by its key, it means when I call the key, where the key here, the keys are name, field, and data age. Okay, these are the keys, the ones at the left of the semicolon. Okay, so if I want to subset this, you remember how we did subsetting a list. Okay, the same way. And the key here I'm going to do, I'm going to use this name. If I print this, John should come out, right? I mean, so indeed we have John here, right? Know how your your code is being written. The code is written in a way that this comes out first, and then the next print that will come out is for this. So the first print is for this one, the second one is for the John, right? Now, if I want to add a new key value pair, what I mean is I have to tell Python that, hey, I want to add a new key value pair, and the key here I want is going to be degree, the degree I'm seeking personally. Let's say degree, my degree, and it's PhD, right? So John, the degree of John is PhD. Now it means it's going to add this key value pair to our data type or data set here. So if I print my data underscore dict, I should get the key value pair degree PhD in it, right? So I have degree is to PhD, right? So that is how dictionary works in Python. The next other thing we can talk about is set, right? Um, for a set, I can call maybe this set, let me call it S. All you do is the normal way of representing set, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If I print the set and run it, I'm going to have the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now let's look at this. If I add a new item to the set, so let's say s dot add, right? That is how you do it in terms of set. Maybe if I add 6 to it and print this new set s, I'm sorry, I get 6 added to it, right? Now let me try to add an existing item and see what happens, right? S dot add maybe an existing element like 2, right, and print s again, right? Remember we've already added 6, so this is our new s, right? This is our new set that we are dealing with. Now if I add 2, ideally you're supposed to get a 2 happening again in this, right? But in terms of set, we don't care about repeated values, right? For set, if I want to see all the elements in a given set, I don't care about repeated values or repeated elements. If I ask you, I have a set 1 1 2 2 and ask you what are the elements in the set, you only have 1 and 2 in the set. These are the only elements you have, right? So that is what is happening here. If we added, let's say 10, there will be a change. 10 is added, right? But if you add an existing element like let's say 1, it doesn't change anything because 1 is repeated, and Python really understands set. Okay, so that's how set, the data type set, is being done. If you come to Boolean represents the truth values, false and true. It can only take zeros and ones, or maybe true or false, right? If I set something to be, let's say t equals true, right, and this is how you represent true in Python, and I say print t, that is, this is going to print true, right? If I say f equals false, it's going to print, so the Boolean data type comes with only two outcome. It can only give you a true or false statement. Okay, print f. Okay, One other things you can do is that we can do something here. Um, Now let me run this and see. Print one greater than two. What it means is I want to print the results of one greater than two. And the idea here is one is not greater than two, so it gave me false, right? So this one of the data types you can see. It gives you an output whether it is true or false. Okay, so if I had put, let's say, one less than two, which is true, that we know Python will also say true, right? So this is the kind of other data type we can meet in data science. We are going to need all these some ideas about these kind of data types. Okay, now the main data type I want us to stress ourselves, or maybe do another lesson on, is list. We're going to dive more into list. There's more to list that we can do. Okay, and after that we can now proceed to new packages and everything in Python. Okay, so there's actually no exercise in this particular lesson. All I urge you to do is go through the material or the resource we are using. Again, I'll put a link to that in the description section. Thank you, and see you in our next lesson.